Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQCAW. And as always, NoDQ.com, your source for the very latest in WWE and TNA. We are coming off the 20th anniversary episode of Monday Night Raw. Got a lot of questions here regarding Raw and other topics, so let's get right down to it. This one comes from CETDWP08. Hey Aaron, I just saw the post on the pay-per-view for 2013, and again, SummerSlam is being held in Los Angeles. Why can't SummerSlam be held in another city? I can't remember the last time it wasn't held in LA. The last time it was held in LA, or not held in LA, was 2008. Since 2009, it has been in Los Angeles every year, and the reason is that WWE likes holding it in a major market like Los Angeles. They like to have the celebrity parties before SummerSlam where WWE superstars and staff can interact with Hollywood stars. So WWE does it partly for the networking and, of course, the publicity of being in Los Angeles. You're in a major market. Yeah, for me personally, I'm kind of sick of it. I mean, the SummerSlam pay-per-views haven't been all that good in recent years, and you know, I go because I feel I'm obligated to, you know, doing this professionally, going there, covering the event for NoDQ.com. But I would like to see a change. I'm tired of it, and I was kind of hoping that SummerSlam would not be in LA, and that would open up the possibility for WrestleMania being in LA, but it doesn't look like that's a direction WWE is going in, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, for the time being, it looks like they're sticking in Los Angeles. This one comes from Peter Scott Jones. With Wade Barrett picking up the win on Randy Orton, does this mean that Wade is getting pushed for a possible world title feud, or is Orton again in trouble in the back? The reason why Wade Barrett got the clean win on Randy Orton was twofold. First of all, WWE is pushing Wade Barrett. He's one of the guys that they're very high on, and you could see a lot from Wade Barrett in 2013. He's definitely one of those guys that they feel could be a future top superstar. And the other big reason is that it's expected that Randy Orton will be turning heel in the near future, and this is all part of the build-up, you know, him going on a losing streak and then finally snapping and going heel. So that's what will most likely be the outcome of Randy Orton's losing streak. That'll help set the turn off for him going heel and facing Sheamus or whatever at WrestleMania. We'll just have to wait and see. Why do you think WWE didn't bring back any of the big names for the 20th anniversary of Raw? Big fan from the UK. Well, guys like Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin had prior commitments. They were at a gun show in Las Vegas, so they were unable to make it to Raw, which is really unfortunate. I mean, it would have definitely helped if they were there for the 20th anniversary of Raw. Would have made the show a much bigger deal. I'm not sure why WWE didn't bring back a lot of legends. I mean, it was the 20th anniversary of Raw, and you know, no New Age Outlaws. I mean, they could have brought back at least like the usual guys, Duggan, Slaughter. They didn't even do that. So I really don't know why they downplayed the whole nostalgia feel for Raw, and you know, having all the old timers come back for one night and you know, just a night to remember the past. I guess WWE felt that promoting the Royal Rumble was more important. I really don't know. And speaking of the 20th anniversary Raw, this is from Mr. Igmatic Hero, or Nero. Jeez, I can't even pronounce that name. Hey Aaron, how do you feel about the 20th anniversary of Raw? I felt like the show didn't live up to the hype at all, and I was very disappointed with it. I think WWE dropped the ball. Yeah, like I said, I was definitely disappointed. They could have done a whole lot more. I mean, the show, just as a normal Raw, was fine. I didn't really have any issues with it. I thought it was a fairly entertaining show. I mean, I really enjoyed the segment with Ric Flair and The Miz. I thought that made The Miz come off like a bigger star, interacting with Ric Flair. And same thing with Antonio Cesaro. And you know, the Rock concert was funny, the song about Vicky, although I will say that I thought that Rock concert was the weakest of the Rock concerts to date. And, you know, the stuff with Alberto and Big Show and the cage match with Cena and Ziggler was very good, although, once again, Ziggler does the job, but, that could mean he's going to cash in soon. I mean, normally when the Money in the Bank winner goes on a losing streak, he ends up winning and cashing in the briefcase in the near future. So that could mean that the time is coming close for Dolph Ziggler to cash it in. So we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this 20th anniversary Raw did not feel like a special show, and I think that's why people were so disappointed, because there was all that hype and people thought that they were going to see names from the past, and it didn't happen. WWE really didn't go out of their way to make it a special show. So yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate, but I mean, WWE has their reasons, and I guess, like I said earlier, they're focused on the Royal Rumble, and they just did the 1000th Raw, and they had the 15-year anniversary show several years back, 5 years ago, and I guess they felt that enough is enough. Alright, this one comes from Huck Cool. With Eve now gone from the WWE Divas division, and with all the big releases last year, do you think that they'll scrap the division and title altogether, or do you think that there's a chance the Divas can make a comeback? Well, there's always a possibility that they could get the Divas division going again, bring in some new Divas. I've talked about this many times, that, the Divas have a shelf life, and they're brought in, and once they get into the late 20s, they're already past their prime, in the world of WWE television. So WWE could bring in some new Divas and bring in some new life to the Divas division, but then again, they might just scrap it. But, you're always going to need... You're always going to need the Divas division, not just for the eye candy, but, they usually have the Divas matches as a buffer between two big matches on a pay-per-view, you have one big match and you have a throwaway match that will, give the crowd a chance to just relax a little bit and go to the bathroom, buy merchandise, and just, bring them down a little bit before the next big match. So, that's one reason that the Divas division has a purpose. Hate to say it, but it's true. If they're going to keep the Divas division going, I would like to see more, athletic Divas brought in, more women with wrestling backgrounds. And, the problem with Eve and Kelly, these girls were models, and they were brought in and trained to become wrestlers. I want to see more women that have been wrestling on the indie scene and bring them in and give the Divas division some more credibility, because let's face it, it's the PG era, and the women aren't going to be showing all that much. So if you're not going to be showing a whole lot of skin, then you might as well have them go out there and perform and wrestle. So yeah, that's what I'd like to see if they're going to keep the Divas division going. This one comes from RW Inland. When do you think John Cena will start putting over talent? Even Orton has cleanly put people over. Is Cena really that much of an egotistical douchebag? No, it has absolutely nothing to do with John Cena. John Cena doesn't have any say in it. John Cena does what WWE tells him to do, and they want to push him as Superman. He is their top star, and they don't want to make him look weak at all. He's their cash cow, and when it's all said and done, they're going to protect him as much as possible. We saw that with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar couldn't even get a win over John Cena. But it has nothing to do with John Cena not wanting to put people over. Trust me. It's WWE. They want to push John Cena as hard as possible, and they don't want to have anybody beat him, even with outside interference, as we can see with the Dolph Ziggler matches. Like, even with Big E interfering and AJ interfering, Cena still can't do a job. So that just goes to show you that WWE wants to protect John Cena. WrestleMania is coming up, so that's all the more reason to not have Cena lose, because they want him to look as strong as possible going into WrestleMania. All right, this last one for today comes from Joey Stees 17. Hey Aaron, I like the No DQ&A videos. Thanks for that. Do you think anyone from the Attitude Era is going to return at the Royal Rumble this year? Personally hope Road Dogg gets another shot at the Rumble match. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the New Age Outlaws come out in the Royal Rumble. And I do think that there's a possibility that we'll get at least a few surprise entrants this year. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn would be at the top of the list, I think. And, maybe Duggan again, but I'd like to see some guys that we haven't seen in a long time. Like, why not somebody like the Godfather of Val Venus for a one-shot deal? Just a couple of old names. It's always cool to have the surprise entrance at the Rumble. It always gets that big nostalgic pop. So I'm a big fan of doing it every year. I think there should always be a few surprise entrants, and I think there's a decent shot we'll get a few this year. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A Video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQ&AV. Right now, I'm doing my top 25 feuds in WWE history lists, so check out those videos and stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest regarding the Royal Rumble. And with that being said, I'll see you next time.